it, folks. LawLiet and LabyRinth once again meeting for the next time. Sorry, the game has actually begun. We will jump into Shallow Grave right now, Kevin. Another interesting map pick. We have quite the map pool this year, don't we?
Yeah, this is super interesting, and let's see how LabyRinth tries to abuse this map, because this, due to the big distance, an Expo is not out of the window, I would say, for the Undead to make the first big move in this game, and then it's up to LawLiet to react.
Interesting to see LabyRinth here not successfully getting the Lightning Shield proc on the go, slowing down his creeping a little bit. LawLiet, of course, Demon Hunter, as you predicted, seems to be the more solid choice these days. Getting a Ring of Protection as his first item, pretty decent. Labby getting the Claws as well. Nice items for both of our players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think LawLiet really happy. I mean, the ring has creeping, and maybe he needs to use Moon Juice less and go back to the base just one time less. So that could make a difference if you want to have as an Expo, and we already see the skull for LabyRinth. So
a player's forces are under attack.
That's great.
Yeah, both players here will want to be checking what the other is doing for sure. We see LabyRinth actually going for a pretty quick tech by Undead standards, trying to secure his own level 2 on the DK, and LawLiet here coming across the Demon Hunter pretty aggressively right now. We have a Wisp coming in as well, just to get rid of any skeletons, and it's actually Mana Burn Immolation the build.
And the DK seems stuck, but
okay, it feels like LawLiet here doesn't have quite the damage to keep the DK in, of course, or Offensive Coil going out onto LawLiet's Demon Hunter is getting really low already, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, luckily he didn't use the Wisp without gaining anything from it, but like now the Demon Hunter is low HP and needs to go back all the way across the map. So for now, LabyRinth is safe and can just finish the camp.
Do you think that LawLiet really had to come across and try to delay the Undead creeping, or could he have focused on his own creeping?
Maybe being present is not bad, but I would think that he took a little bit too much damage. Like going in there against 3 ghouls was maybe not ideal, but nothing bad happened as a consequence, luckily.
Yeah, nothing too drastic in that first skirmish. We see the Mumos, of course, all being completely drained. We have 3 of them there prepared ahead of time. And LabyRinth bringing an Acolyte across, and he does have that Sacrificial Skull. Could this potentially be a tier 2 expansion, Kevin?
At least he's threatening it, for sure, so he's using the Acolyte, but I don't think that he would start the creep now, because there's a full HP, basically full mana Demon Hunter with Immolation, so that would be super risky due to the Inner Fire and everything.
Yeah, this camp on Shallow Grave, the natural, is pretty tricky indeed. You've got Inner Fire, and the Sasquatch, of course, is heavy armor, which of course is pretty potent against those ghouls, not able to do bonus damage against medium armor targets.
But LawLiet still needs to be super careful, because he's out on a big map against the Unholy Hour, so the archers are always in danger, I think, and losing them, like losing your backline basically on tier 2 is super harmful.
Yeah, we see LawLiet doing a great job here, actually, keeping the archers far away at all times. As you said, the chase down potential on this map is huge. The Undead can catch up and keep getting in front, keep blocking those archers, and you don't want to lose them early on. LawLiet will obviously be looking to power up the second hero, potentially a Naga most likely, sometimes a Panda. I'm definitely curious to see what that pick will be. And LabyRinth, he's just beelining tier 3 right now.
Yeah, true, but so far I think LawLiet will also be happy with this, because he didn't took any damage in the early game, and I think this went a lot worse yesterday. Like he took way more damage in the early game, in both games.
Oh, this is a really sick dust. That is such a sick dust.
Going down potentially too, because now he's in the middle of the map, and
well, both players buying Naga right now. This is where things tend to get a little bit hairy for both sides. We see, of course, LabyRinth's Naga being targeted heavily by LawLiet right now. Can LabyRinth get a counter surround on that Naga? He manages to hide the surround! Oh my goodness! This is an amazing play by LabyRinth right now, managing to close in that Naga so quickly with so few units, but LawLiet passing the TP over and keeping his second hero alive.
He spotted TP just in time, but now the archers didn't make it into TP range, so probably one of them will still fall. I mean, there is a dust.
Yeah, LawLiet, I think, maybe losing oversight a little bit of his archers, of course, making sure that he didn't lose his hero, and perhaps too much was going on at once, and LawLiet losing focus there of everything. Trying to split away those archers, of course, to keep them alive. I think Mana Burn will be coming down now on the DK to prevent another coil. Naga coming in nicely as well, just to prevent the DK from chasing those archers down. I think we could say this is a relatively even trade overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And he nicely managed to save these archers, so that will help for sure. I think the Ancient of War is moving to the expansion for LawLiet, so the Naga can start creeping, I guess. But LawLiet still needs to be careful, because there's still this skull, there's still this additional Acolyte, and this Expo threat, this is not gonna go away, right? The moment it comes up, it's super dangerous, but that's nice that he splits the Demon Hunter and he's just in time to cancel the Ziggurat.
LawLiet is obviously super paranoid about LabyRinth trying to get that expansion up at any moment. We had the Wisp checking throughout the game constantly. Unfortunately, not getting the perfect detonate, removing all of the blight. So LabyRinth is actually able to still plant down that Ziggurat. LawLiet trying his best to cancel it. Of course, he has no TP on only boot, so he needs to be careful. There's no Staff of Tele available either. In the meantime, the Naga did find the Perp to Vitality, a decent item for late game, but not amazing. Ancient of War actually going to go down here. LawLiet, known for keeping his Ancients of War active, does manage to keep that one going, thankfully. But of course, the Archers will suffer a little bit as a result.
He just managed to switch the Aqua in the very last second, so that's nice. But Labby actually decided to start the Goldmine just before tier 3, but luckily the Demon Hunter was in range.
Close one with Ancient of War, man. Oh, that Skeleton could potentially have actually got the last hit there and destroyed it. That was close. 11 HP.
This is important because the Goblin Lab is actually a super hard creep, so you're really happy if you keep the Ancient of War alive and potentially protect an Expo. And I think the Demon Hunter saw the Goldmine being started, so it will be interesting to see if LawLiet decides to go for a heavy push with the bear timing, or just goes for the very late game and counter Expos against the Undead, which could make for a great game on this map.
This is a really sick build by LabyRinth. He's able to get the expansion rolling kind of early, before Elf really hits their major power spikes. You know, double level 3 hero, Preservation Staff, Orb of Venom, Bears, and you know, LabyRinth, he was able to establish the expansion kind of easily in the end. You know, the level 2 Demon Hunter not really posing that much of a threat in the end. You see the lab creep being crept now by LabyRinth, of course. A pretty tricky one indeed, but those statues, man, you know how imba those are.
They are a very good unit, and if they would be in the mercenary camp, I'm sure people would buy them.
Every single
as
game.
Opposed to any Night Elf unit. But it's a different story. And but yeah, Labby really found the perfect timing for this Expo. He wasn't weak at any point. Like, there was no danger to being pushed. If you just go out again, you have no TP against Aura and the Frost Arrow, so that's just super risky. You get surrounded one more time and might just lose the game. For now, they decide to just sweep, and LawLiet actually wants to counter Expo. And I think maybe a good follow-up move for him would be to creep the lab, because then he would be in front of his Expo to defend it during construction. Because getting it cancelled right now would be super bad.
Yeah, to be honest, if LawLiet were to get that expansion cancelled, I think that might be the nail in the coffin right there. We know how powerful Undead is on 2 bases. LabyRinth already rolling in the gold right now. We see the double economy online for him. Lich being added, of course, to that Naga seconds. We have the full trifecta, the full nuke will be coming online very soon indeed for LabyRinth, of course, looking to get some more experience on the map. And he feels comfortable right now, just creeping up, taking some camps, and making sure LawLiet can't really do any damage to his economy.
But it was nice to just threaten like some level of aggression. It forced Labby to go back a little, and this also bought time for the Expo. And now let's see. I mean, the Demon Hunter is a bit squishy without evasion, but he has a big invo, so that will help. Found that at the mercenary camp, and now he also has the staff. What he's still lacking is the orb, which he should try to get for the first big fight.
Yeah, we definitely need the orb online for that Demon Hunter, letting him hit the destroyers and of course providing huge additional damage. We do have Boots of Quel'Thalas as well for that Demon Hunter, so he is a strong boy indeed with that Ring of Protection. Naga looking not too shabby either, quite tanky herself, and obviously provides lots of damage and control in these engagements. But it feels like LabyRinth here might run away with supply very soon. Perhaps LabyRinth can stay, LawLiet can stay 50 food for some time on 2 base and catch up, but if LabyRinth makes a decisive strike occur, LawLiet could be in some trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily, the Naga is also level 3, as you mentioned.
Oh, there's a potentially dicey situation here. Wonder the wind being used, of course. Demon Hunter forced into an Invo Potion straight away, but the ghouls are actually disappearing really quickly. DK is very low on mana as well. Receiving that level 2 mana burn is huge, of course, and there's no mana potion available on LabyRinth's side.
One more burn, that's huge. And he perfectly used to regeneration after using the Invo Potion, because otherwise it would get cancelled. Now DH is just full HP, and he still has the staff combo, like Staff of Tele and Preservation, which is amazing in these fights against Undead, because they are mostly about sustain, right? They are not. You just don't want to win right away. You want to train the Undead dry, basically.
Yeah, perfect engagement there by LawLiet. Still staying at 50 supply. Of course, he needs to catch up in economy big time right now. LabyRinth, losing an additional ghoul there to the mercenary camp, which is a bit odd. Creeping will continue though, and we know how fast Undead can clean up these maps, especially with the Destroyer online, removing all of those buffs like Inner Fire, and just really helping your units to eviscerate these camps. We see how quickly that camp disappeared. Of course, undead elf creeping isn't too shabby either, of course. LawLiet getting some pretty good levels, finding the devotion aura, pretty nice item, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these permanent items or these aura items make a big difference in these long games. Laby found a big healing, which is not bad, of course, but he wanted a big mana, because like hero focus is generally not the primary goal of the elf here, I would say.
Yeah. LawLiet trying to get maximum value out of the situation, getting as many mana burns as possible, trying to butter up the undead here. But bear in mind that he doesn't have any town portal, so this could get dicey really quickly. Wait, the Demon Hunter has no survival items, but LawLiet manages to staff out the Demon Hunter just in time. But we see the bears here being destroyed here by those Destros in the air right now. They are going down very quickly. Demon Hunter staffs back in with a health potion. There is some hero focus actually coming in here. The Lich might be in some danger. Wait, the Lich!
Oh,
the Lich gets caught out by the forked lightning! No way!
And he used the big invis, so the DK is in trouble as well. He found the perfect moment for the hero focus because he drained all this mana right before the fight, so that opened this door. And
wait, the Naga. The Naga in some potential danger here as well. We see the chase is on. The Dryads are so good at catching. Cold Arrow lands. Demon Hunter is running, trying to get in front. We see the DK maybe trying to get in for the block. He's trying to keep the block up. He is keeping the block up successfully. The Naga is getting towards the back, but she is very low HP right now. Demon Hunter committing hard for this.
One Destro might go down, and the statue in the back is also in trouble. Now we have Frostable level 2, which is huge. I don't think we have revealed there's nothing at the lab, but still. These units are out of the fight for now, and this is great for LawLiet, and the staff is ready again.
Oh, DK forced into another health potion. We see level 2 Fort Lightning coming down once again. Wait, the DK's out of position.
Oh,
the DK has nowhere to run. He has nowhere to run, Kevin. I think he's going down here. The Demon Hunter manages to get the XP there as well.
This is so important for LawLiet, and now he seems to be far ahead. I mean, supply isn't that different, but like he's putting on the pressure, and he still has the staff, and the Naga is in trouble as well. And this is so expensive, buying all these potions just to survive, right? He's not gaining anything from it.
Oh my god, LawLiet playing on a nice edge. Look at how much HP, 47 HP, taking another shot, then the Lich just comes out. LawLiet playing on an absolute knife's edge right now. He is playing to his maximum capacity right now for sure. We see more reinforcements coming in, Rejuvenation applying some relief for the Night Elf, of course, is looking super healthy right now.
And now he moved something to the lab, so he can clean up these fiends, and he used the Staff of Preservation combo with the Staff of Teleportation twice this fight. This shows you how long this fight is going already, but like everything is going down for LabyRinth. He's killing nothing.
This is an awesome fight from LawLiet right now. Another reveal coming out. We see the Fiends being forced to unburrow, but they are easy pickings for this Cold Arrow Dryad Slow combination, which is super strong in locking down those units. We see LabyRinth's heroes fighting at the back here, trying to be safe, but the Naga in some danger again. The Naga, she goes down as well. One more shot takes her out, and LabyRinth has to give up.
GG. What a nice game.
Wow, there we have it, folks. LawLiet managing to take map 1 against LabyRinth after looking kind of lost in his previous series, honestly. So good to see him play well. Didn't he play on an absolute knife's edge with that Demon Hunter? He was like sub 100 HP for ages, just fighting and fighting and fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were so many close moments where the Naga was like up in the air, but he still managed to dispel and then staff out the Demon Hunter last second. And LawLiet played this really well and strategically, like he didn't put himself into the greatest danger. I mean, the archers sometimes, but he didn't commit to the expo. He knew if he gets his counter expo, he's fine, and that's exactly how the game went, and this was really well done by him.
Yeah, personally, I was a little bit scared when they fought near the Goblin Merchant at the top right. There was a potential to morph a lot of destroyers, and I was thinking, oh no, he's going to overcommit. Laby's going to morph all these Destros, destroy all the bears, and then there's only going to be Dryads left. But honestly, when the opportunity for hero focus came, those Dryads were extremely helpful.
Yeah, and the mana burns right before the fight, because like in a fight where the undead has full mana, you will never really kill these heroes with a big heal, but the heroes basically had no mana anymore, so hero focus was an option, the big heal was used quickly, and then everything went downhill from there for Laby.
That felt like one of my ladder games. I feel like when I play against Elf, I just have 0 mana 24/7. You try and take a big fight, and it feels like you've got maybe 1 round of spells, and then you're done. And the Demon Hunter keeps being staffed out, staffed back in, and it feels like the Elf has better sustain in these cases if they're able to keep the undead mana low before the engagement, as you said.
But just to establish a fact, this has nothing to do with the mana burn range, right? That you lose your mana. This is your positioning of the DK, right? This is not just to clarify for the Night of Discord.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the mana burn range is fine. We'll go with that. Okay, it's not too bad.
Okay. That's a good start.
It's valid.
We have time.
Yeah, we could discuss that later. I'm sure you'll have some conversations with Remo about that.
I have some ideas.
But no, I mean, LawLiet just, I thought he might have been in trouble with that early expansion, to be honest. The LabyRinth just planted it, and obviously the elf had to catch up, right? The tree takes ages, then you have to entangle it, so it's like, what, 200 seconds before you start mining when you plant the tree? So really for elf, it does take quite a lot longer for them to start the double economy rolling in. For undead, it's very quick, you know, plant the haunted, and then just start mining immediately. But it seems like LabyRinth, I don't know what he could have done differently, honestly. He had the right army composition. You know, he had the Fiends and Destroyers. Perhaps he could have morphed more to get rid of the bears faster. But we'll see how they adapt in game 2.
Yes.
LabyRinth versus LawLiet. Let's go. Here we are, folks. The winner bracket quarterfinal, the second of the day of the Being Esports World Series. We have, all the way from South Korea, LawLiet in the top left.
Yeah, and his opponent, also from Korea, LabyRinth, playing the Undeads.
Let's go LabyRinth. So, LabyRinth here, I'm interested to see how he will adapt. Maybe he thought that he had played the game correctly, but then just wasn't able to win those engagements, not able to keep his hero safe from the mana burn. Wait a second, we're seeing a Lich first.
Well,
That's wild.
That's a curveball if I've ever seen one in the lower bracket. And this is his tournament life on the line, right? If this goes wrong, but actually, I think the Lich is a lot better against the Demon Hunter first, as opposed to a Keeper first, because it's really hard to cancel an Expo attempt.
Absolutely, we see both players fighting for their tournament lives right now. LawLiet opting to stick with the Demon Hunter once again seems to be the obvious choice in this matchup these days. And Lich is just such a curveball. This is going to be a totally wild game. I wonder if LabyRinth will stick with Fiends or maybe bring out the Guards.
I think he must have planned something here, and there's one detail on this map that we don't see on any other map in this map pool, and that's a 3 gold mine in the middle. So maybe he has some strategy that involves the mid gold mine, like just threaten an Expo, or go for a push and place the Network Tower and then try to get an Expo behind it. So yeah, and actually Laby is moving into the middle instantly with double skull, so he's on a mission here.
Yeah, Laby, I think, going for a totally Hail Mary play here. We see double skull, of course. That is almost certainly going to be an expansion attempt. That would be crazy to invest that much and not go for the expansion. We see Frost Nova coming out onto the Demon Hunter. Potential early surround against the trees. Ooh, could have been close there. Skeleton gets webbed. Thankfully not a ghoul, so the Demon Hunter there doesn't continue that attack there. We do see the Acolyte and the Skull being planted. Another Nova, but the Demon Hunter is in a little bit of trouble here. The Acolyte. Oh, the Acolyte's trying to keep the Demon Hunter, but how does he slide out of that gap?
Oh, and a nice detonate. So the first skull is actually, I think this was a perfect detonate, right? Like,
yes,
no
all the blight is gone. But a second skull, of course, the backup skull the undeads need.
Oh, but yeah, I don't think he can cancel, yeah. And the thing is, now he used mana burn and he lost all the health. So yeah, this Sigurd is going to go up for sure. And there are 2 potential reactions to this, I would say, and that's just go mass hunts and try to keep pushing it, or you just go with it and maybe try to tag, get your build going, and that's what LawLiet is doing. So again, he's not risking too much.
Yeah, LawLiet sticking to his guns here, playing pretty typical indeed, not wanting to try some super all-in that may backfire, of course, but I think it could have potentially been a winning strategy. You know, the Lich, he is strong, but on level 1, there's no mana recovery for him. He can't keep Novaing forever. We do see the Moonwells are rather dry, and the Demon Hunter is continuing to take damage here.
Yeah. And like both Novas were used really quickly, so even archers would have been relatively safe, right, in the back, because Lich is good, but there's no Unholy Aura. So
yeah, we see the ghouls. The ghoul's kind of easy to chase down right now, but another
saving
ghoul
this
block.
ghoul.
Beautiful ghoul block just to keep the Demon Hunter away, and actually he's taking more pot shots from the Lich. He's getting so low right now, LawLiet's Demon Hunter.
Yes, that's huge, because like the DH is low for really low for the second time within 4 minutes. Like you can't keep up with. Even I think he has 4 Moonwells already, which is a good decision, I guess.
A
But
player's forces
still.
are under attack.
Yeah, LawLiet definitely knew what he needed to do. We have 4 Moonwells early on. He knew that there would be tons of skirmishing, that he would be taking a lot of damage. Of course, the Lich is a ranged hero after all. You don't see the DK too often fighting toe-to-toe with the Demon, but of course, if you can shoot from afar and keep putting damage on that Demon Hunter, you need a lot of Moon Juice to keep that hero alive.
Yeah, and once more, there would have been an opportunity to go for like a tier 2 all-in, maybe with APs, and you move them, and then you risk something. But again, he's going for a counter expo. So he's confident in his mid and late game, and let's see if he manages to
Players'
protect this
forces
tree
are
once
under
more
attack.
during construction.
Yeah, this feels like quite a tough moment for LawLiet, though. You know, he just committed these resources to the tech. The tree only has 3 archers to his name, and look how many units LabyRinth has. He has 11 ghouls out already. I don't know about you, but that is definitely a scary force.
Yeah.
If LawLiet was to commit, if LabyRinth was to commit into LawLiet's base, he may get a lot of damage done there. We see also the Nerubian Tower serving its dual purpose here of not just defending the base, but also assisting in creeping. Really nice to see.
Yeah, that's a super big creep camp. I mean, so far Labi only grabbed a small one in the middle because the Goldmine had no creeps. But if he gets both of these with the help of the Nerup Tower, I mean, Lich will just reach level 3 and more, and he will get crazy items and a lot of gold. And I'm not sure LawLiet can even contest this really well because he pulls the creeps inside the middle.
This is actually so genius by LabyRinth right now, placing the Nerubian purposely so that not only could he block LawLiet from coming in easily to harass, but also just far enough that he could drag the camp nearest by and creep it as well. Not for free, but just so much more easily, because this camp is definitely not doable earlier on.
And just thinking about it, credit where credit is due, I don't want to know how often Edo Boy is going to mention that LabyRinth is apparently copying his strategies now, right, with this middle expo on springtime. So if anyone can check on him if he's fine, that would be great, I guess.
Players' forces are
LawLiet at the same time actually creeping with just archers as well. That was a pretty ambitious creep. Just Ancient of War and 3 archers able to take down the expansion creep. Very interesting indeed. I didn't even realize that was possible. We see the Tree of Life right now finishing for LawLiet 2. The item on the floor is Cause +5. Pretty decent. Got a Tome of Intelligence for the Naga as well. She'll be putting out loads of damage. And the Lich, his progress overall is kind of slow. We see only level 2 on his side, actually, not really getting the rest of the whole camp here. There's still some creeps to go.
He might clean it up now, but LawLiet nicely, like he couldn't prevent it, but he bought a lot of time. Like he made this, like just stressful for Labby, and he's still contesting a little, and the second one is not even started, and we're getting quiet, and they are super good against these ghouls, right?
Oh, nicely done by LabyRinth there, securing the creep by sacrificing one of his ghouls and noving the level 6 tracker there, but it's going to come at the cost of 3 ghouls in total.
Yeah, Labby got the item, the Ring of Archmager, which is obviously great. The DH was close to stealing the last hit and, or getting the last hit and stealing the item. What is he constantly doing? This was a crypt, I guess?
This was an additional crypt, yeah. So we have the Necropolis finishing right now. We've got the Spirit Tower coming up for some extra defense. The crypt coming up in the back now. LabyRinth does not want to get that cancelled again. He needs to pump out units on tier 2.
Yeah, and this creeping on the expo was a genius move actually. Like, if he would have moved the entire army to the expo, then Labby would have gotten both camps in the middle, would be level 3, have no trouble, and keep the ghouls safe. But like this, LawLiet has the expo and is even on hero levels, like even ahead in total XP.
Yeah, that's actually crazy, to be honest. I thought LawLiet would be in so much more danger, but he managed to buy just the right amount of time and continue to split creep as well. Amazing play by him, of course. LabyRinth here also with his own ingenious play, of course, making full use of the Nerubian Tower in the middle here and the free expo. We see also the Ancient of War is actually engaged in more creeping at the top at the laboratory as well. Naga getting some additional XP, and I love the Shredder pickup as well.
Yeah, Shredder is generally amazing here because you want so many upgrades as Denied on tier 3, like starting from Wellspring, you want the master upgrades, then you might want to add some talents later on or Hippogriffs just for some more anti-air. And Labby, it's hard to read what he's gonna do now. LawLiet is seeing the first Garg, but sometimes the undeads like to go with one Garg just to fake it a little and like force LawLiet into a reaction, but actually he's following it up with some more guards. Let's see if he sticks with it, because if he gets to a critical mass against the Naga second, that's super amazing, because LawLiet wants a Panda, or maybe at least third, but it's hard to level it.
I don't know about you, but it's pretty tricky to get that Panda third to level 3, which obviously you would need as well against the massive gargoyles, and it feels like he is the only hero you can really go to help counter that. When you've committed to Naga, it feels like you need the Panda as well just to deal with the mass Gargs. We actually have an additional crypt coming up as well. This is going to be triple crypt Gargs. Yeah. And the sick thing is for Undead is that they can transition to triple crypt Fiends later on if they feel like the Elf is committed to a lot of anti-air.
Yeah, especially Hippogriffs.
Especially Hippos, of course, which are useless against ground. You switch to Fiends and you wouldn't fight anyway, so Elf has to pay a lot of attention to the Undead's tech switches. LawLiet skirmishing nicely here though, managing to get another creep steal with the 4th Lightning. We see the Ogre Magi is up for grabs. This is a pretty important item right now. The Lich is moving forward. He does have enough mana for Nova, nicely stealing that away from LawLiet, who actually gets the Circlet, I do believe, and Panda third. There we go.
Now with the Breath of Fire, I mean the haste would have been an option too. But Breath is obviously nice here as well. And yeah, now he needs to creep and he needs to get orbs, and yeah, but Labby is also getting a lot stronger, right? He still doesn't have the orb. He's not really far on upgrades, and he might even add like a Frostworm later or some A-bombs. It's really, it will be really interesting, because on 2 bases the Undead can do a lot, and so can the Elf actually.
Here we see LabyRinth actually switching over to Fiends right now, not going to commit on the Mask Arcs. I think he was hoping perhaps LawLiet would have thrown down 2 Ancients of Wind just to have the Hippogriff counter prepared, which you need alongside Dryads, and of course the AoE damage from the heroes. But LawLiet wasn't fooled. He actually did not start any Ancient of Wind. So he is able to keep going with the lore units, which are of course much, much better against the Fiends and Destroyers.
I mean, he forced the Panda, but the Panda won't be bad, right? Against, like, the Ghouls are still there, the Panda can be good against the Fiends, and the Naga managed to get level 3, which is great against the Fiends and against the Ghouls. And let's see if LawLiet maybe shares some experience or decides to give it all to the Panda now, because like 1 red spot will bring him close to level 3 already.
Yeah, honestly, it's a difficult call because you definitely want that level 3 Panda. Oh, Info Potion accidentally being popped here by LawLiet. That's unfortunate. A little bit of a waste there. That may be crucial in the upcoming fight, which is going to be taking place very soon. LabyRinth preparing for a huge assault here. We've got double mana potions. We have Scroll of the Beast, Info Pot, and Tri-Hero available. The Shredder going to go down here, but LawLiet does have a good stockpile of wood. This is the crucial engagement right now. Undead breaking supply early. LawLiet, here he goes, TPing in. We've got the Haze Fire combination going out, but the bears are going to be attacked right away and being destroyed. DK takes quite some damage here. No mana left for him.
And the Destroyer upgrade wasn't ready when the fight started, so the first haste combo went through perfectly, and that helped so much here to take less damage and to get the damage over time, which is usually dispelled. But this looks like a nice hold for LawLiet so far, even without the Info Potion. But DH needs to be careful still, there's the stuff ready.
Oh, nicely done by LawLiet here. Such risky plays once again, having to play as best as he can to keep his tournament hopes alive. Of course, LabyRinth here with double mana potion, really patiently holding on to that. He could have popped them and killed that Demon Hunter potentially.
Naga's in danger. Does he use the heal scroll to save her? Yes, he does. DH is back with full HP. But there are no more bears, so there's not really a front line. That means the heroes take so much damage and there's no sustain, and the Panda goes down.
Panda going down there, folks. We've got the mana potion being popped on the Lich to secure that kill. Level 4 for him now as well. That is a ton of sustain, and now it feels like the Lich will have pretty much infinite mana going forward. And this is where I feel like the Lich first pick ends up being really strong. As soon as he gets to level 4, even if he gets mana burned, he can consume even a Fiend or a Ghoul or Guard and get back so much mana. And LawLiet, it looks like he might have to give up the expansion. He did throw in a couple as they're trying to go for some detonates, but a lot of them get picked off by LabyRinth's army. Looks kind of ropey right now. The tree is going down. The tree goes down for LawLiet, and this looks difficult for him now. We've got Fork Lightning ready on LawLiet's side. Where is he going to throw it on? Onto the hero, of course. Demon Hunter taking a ton of damage. Last minute staff once again.
This looked really good for LawLiet for a second, but this one kill made such a difference for Labby. He got level 4 on the Lich, he got level 3 on the DK, and then he managed to get 2 mana potions, and he still has 1. And yeah, I really think this invo that LawLiet used on accident by like at the red spot really
it came back to bite him for sure. But LawLiet isn't done here yet. I think he feels the pressure now. He has to commit and take an excellent trade against LabyRinth right now. But his army is looking very strong with a good supply lead. Lots of units going down at the front already. We see the bear being destroyed. The guard goes down as well. Fiend's also being attacked, and they're going down quickly too. The DK has absolutely no mana left to work with. Can LawLiet getting a lot of pickups here? Maybe.
And he went to the shop during the fight to get the stuff of teleportation, so now he has the combination online again that saved him, or basically won him the game on map run.
Demon Hunter coming back in with full HP. The LabyRinth blew through all of his items pretty much, but did buy another round of invulns and scrolls on that Lich there, making sure that he doesn't lose one of his heroes, as that could definitely be an inroad for LawLiet to get back into the game.
It was a sweet deny right there, but Labby lost some units on his way out because there was no over level 2 and no TP. But still there's a supply lead for the Undead.
Yeah, LabyRinth with a decent supply lead here, but the Destroyers are out of mana and they don't really have a great target to focus anymore. There's no bears on the field, and it seems that LawLiet really does like to favor the heavy Dryad army composition, even though they can die easily to Fiends. It feels like they're both necessary to focus heroes and keep units slowed, so that the Demon Hunter and Naga in particular can keep on top of them and kill them.
And it's really sweet that the Expo was placed in the middle, because I'm pretty sure there is a shop in the middle, and like at least the flight helps so much. You only have to cross half the map to go back after a push, so that's huge. And the Lich first is also good against a potential upgrade for the Elf army, which is Hippos or Talons. So if the Lich reaches level 5, it's super rough to do anything with the Talons.
Absolutely right, Kevin. LawLiet definitely needs to continue the pressure here for sure. We see he's buying space for the expansion behind, once again trying to establish two-base economy. But the supply is even for the time being, it has to be noted.
Yeah, LabyRinth spent so much on items in these last couple of minutes. We shouldn't forget about that. Meanwhile, LawLiet used the moon juice perfectly and is burning the mana consistently, like during the entire game basically, and that's what's keeping him in the game. And we get a big fight once more at the red spot.
This is a huge fight right now. We see the mana burn going out once again. All the undead heroes are completely out of mana, and when that happens, you need to get out of dodge. I'm surprised to see LabyRinth committing so hard to this fight. Maybe he thinks he can get more pickoffs. Demon Hunter in some trouble. Staff is ready, but the DK has to pop the info. The creeps are getting involved as well. This is getting more chaotic by the second, but we see LabyRinth able to get a lot of kills there. The Dryad going down as well, and the DK really wasn't in that much danger after all.
Now LabyRinth is running away a little bit in terms of supply, but he used one heal scroll to save a hero, which is not what you want, but obviously it was the right choice right here. But the Expo is up in some seconds for LawLiet once more, and still, I mean, this red spot could make a huge difference, right? If LawLiet manages to fight LabyRinth back.
This is definitely one of the strengths of Elf at this point in the game. When the armies aren't unbelievably huge and the heroes aren't super strong, the Demon Hunter is able to keep the mana controlled so well on these heroes. We see LabyRinth really struggling to recover the mana. Of course, statues did take a hit and don't provide as much mana regeneration anymore. We definitely see the effects in games like this.
And the next hero levels are actually going to be bigger for the Elf, I guess. Like level 3 on the Panda, level 4 on the Demon Hunter, and once again, there's no mana on the DK, there's no mana for it, and the beams are going down due to the dust usage. Yeah.
Oh, Nagas is in danger. Nagas in danger. Heal scroll being popped. TP being transferred last second.
Swapping the TP, what that means, LawLiet is gonna get the red spot, and that could be a huge item, and certainly he will get level 4 on the DH, and probably also level 3 on the Panda right here. But he's not moving the Naga away. Let's see if this bites him.
I think LawLiet should be able to get the ding on both heroes here. Level 4 and level 3 unlocked. Oh my gosh, he must be a hair away from both.
Yeah, that's... He will get it eventually, but obviously it's not what you want right there, because if a fight happens just now, you want the best start possible.
Absolutely true.
And the entire left side is... there's still some spots like the gold mine, the lab, so...
Yeah, we see at the end of the day, LabyRinth being forced into the TP isn't the worst thing. He's able to keep on creeping, get those camps that are near his base. And LawLiet, of course, he desperately needs at least one more camp just to secure those important levels. We actually see only one Staff of Preservation on LawLiet's side as well, so not really committing to too much there. Maybe could use a second one. We see this Naga, by the way. Look how stacked she is.
Yeah, now she has some mana for Fog Lightning once more. Like in the last fight, it was rough. But now LawLiet has 2 invo potions. It was the other way around before, like Lavi had them, and now we get one big fight.
And here we can see the heroes did not reach the levels they needed. LabyRinth going for full hero focus right now. Both invos being popped on the elf side. Counter hero focus coming out with the DK being nicely micro to the back. The heroes finally level up for LawLiet. Demon Hunter being staffed out, but the Panda is probably next on the menu.
He needs to use the
Mana
TP.
potion!
Oh.
Mana potion committed from LabyRinth there just to secure the kill on the Panda level 3. This is a huge loss for LawLiet. Oh, LawLiet's bleeding so many units as well on the way out. 35 supply there for a second. And we have such a huge advantage for LabyRinth now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was he managed his fight perfectly, and then he went for the long distance toil, which is a gamble, but it worked out perfectly. Like this mana pot was worth it, and yeah, we could see the difference that maybe these hero levels made, right? Like he used both invo potions basically without getting anything from them, and he did less damage.
Yeah, we were definitely missing the hero levels as well. Both the Demon Hunter and Panda just not quite at their crucial levels yet. And I think the missing Staff of Preservation here, one is just not enough at this stage in the game. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. Heroes are very high level. There's huge potential for hero focus. And if there was another staff, the Panda would still be here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's LabyRinth pushing again. Like this game is like there's no downtime, right? They're just pushing, and Levy is going for a second expo behind a quite decisive push. He has a TP, he got the invo potion and 2 heal scrolls. LawLiet has none of that.
LabyRinth with all the tools he needs to close out this game potentially. Demon Hunter getting extremely low, 10 HP, managing to be staffed out at the last second. And LawLiet strides, we see at the back here, just being destroyed by those fiends. We see LabyRinth also committing Dark Ritual on the fiends as well, just to get all the mana back as well, which is pretty sick to see, and definitely worth it at this stage in the game.
He cleared all the wisp with the Nova, and at this point it almost feels like Labby might be able
again.
to finish the game soon. Because without the expo, it's just really rough. And
And it's really rough and really over for LawLiet. LabyRinth managing to take game number 2. Well, I don't know about you, but I certainly did not expect someone to take the open expansion on springtime.
That's quite a move in a map that could cost you your tournament life, right?
Exactly. This was absolutely the most risky play possible, but the Lich just worked out. I think in the early game, LawLiet tried what he could to pressure the Lich, but it felt like LabyRinth was able to put so much damage on the Demon Hunter all the time. The Nerubian in the middle was able to drag the creeps. He got creeps for free. And even though LawLiet had this amazing game plan of, I'll creep the Expo behind with just units so that my heroes can stay and harass the Lich and prevent his progress, it felt like he just couldn't quite get the levels needed in the late game to win those big fights. And as soon as you lose one big fight, it feels like you fall infinitely far behind.
I felt like the game was on the knife edge, but maybe Labby, the longer the game went, he got ahead just a little bit more over time, and then he managed to win in the end. He got the better fights, and but LawLiet still looked really good. And we have an amazing series, and this was beautiful, to see how LabyRinth made use of this terrain of the map. We don't often see that. Most maps are quite standardized. You have some strategies, you know what to expect, but this you don't see often, especially in a tournament. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
this was prepared. This was prepared.
Definitely was, especially at this level. To see it in a professional game is definitely mind-blowing. And of course, if LabyRinth had gone on to lose this map, his tournament life would be over. So this was as risky as it gets, and sometimes it pays off. Risk reward, you've got to take those sometimes.
And what would you expect for the next map? Because now we know the Lich is an opportunity.
I don't know, man.
In
at
terms
this
of
point,
heroes, right? Do you go for the DH again? That didn't work against the Lich. Do you go for a keeper to counter the Lich, but then it's something else? At this point, it's rough.
You're right. I mean, it is LawLiet we're talking about here, and he did pull out the Warden last time in his second map and his last series. Will he pull it out this time as well? I feel like it's just such an unbelievably risky pick.
But it's also such a huge part of his identity, of his career. Maybe he believes in her to save her at this moment. We don't know. Maybe she is the guardian of his tournament life. We will see. I
would love to see it as well. The Warden's such a flashy hero, able to make so many plays. And, LawLiet, he was the master of that hero for so long. We remember that, I think it was a WCA 2014 or 15, where LawLiet went on to just slay every single human with Warden, and it was just insane. He came through all these pros and managed to get through. It was just ridiculous.
I'm sold. Give us a level 10 Warden in the next game.
Dude.
I'm sold.
I mean, we've seen so many series already go really far, and even just the first map with 40 there, getting level 6 MK as well. These guys are so evenly matched and just producing such insane games already for us.
And this is the first round, right, of the main tour, so we will see.
Absolutely.
This is the first day, yeah.
Even more exciting games to come later, of course. But yeah, as an elf player, I think this is a pretty tricky situation because do you go keeper now? Do you try to go for the more expo-orientated approach, maybe go for mass dryads, which I think is quite reliable?
We could say the map opened this Lich door, but he looked really good on a normal map, we could say, with the Demon Hunter. So I think maybe he can still be confident in the Demon Hunter. He played great, and I would love to see how this last fight went with the level 4 and the level 3 and better invo usage. That could have made a difference, and one more staff. So it was really close, despite maybe this map that didn't favor him with this hero choice. So let's see. I mean, he could do it, and I feel like it looks like that's what he practiced, because he didn't pull the keeper out once yesterday. And
yeah, not at all.
So it would really surprise me at this point, I think.
So as an elf player yourself, what hero do you like to pick against Undead? Are you a Demon Hunter player or a keeper player most of the time?
I was more of a keeper player, but now I think I play both. But I try to adjust it as much as possible depending on the opponent, because you have two camps of undeads, right? The 9-minute push guys, you want a Demon Hunter against them, but then you have the Quavs, the Labbies, I think, and the Eidos, and there I think you usually want the keeper to be safe against tower pushes and expos. That's my approach, but it's different on the highest level, I think. There, probably the DH is best at all times.
Yeah, it's really tricky, especially, I play all races myself, and I always find that when I random night up against Undead, it's super tough. Most Undeads just love to play Gargs or expansions or tower rushes, and it's really hard to get those standard games where there's Fiend Destroyer players, which is my favorite. That used to be the meta long ago when there was one base play all the time. But now we're going to see what the players are going to have for us in store next. LawLiet versus LabyRinth, Tournament lives are on the line, and game number 3 is underway. Here we are, folks. LawLiet versus LabyRinth, both hailing from South Korea, fighting for their tournament life. And the picks are Demon Hunter versus Death Knight.
Yeah, this is interesting, and so he is confident in the DH, and this is interesting because this went really well for LawLiet on that one. Right?
Yeah, LawLiet, of course, pulling out all the stops in that first map, playing with the Demon Hunter's life, constantly on super low HP, and just playing magnificently with that hero. Close to making a working game 2 as well, but LabyRinth brought out the unexpected Lich first expansion on Springtime, which we basically never see.
And cute little move, like LabyRinth pulled the creeps a little bit, but the Ogre didn't really follow, so LawLiet didn't lose a lot of time on at least for getting the item, and he went across the map instantly. But let's see what he's doing now. Is he going for level 2? A harass once again, it looks like. He is getting a second item, and probably will harass afterwards.
Yeah, it feels like LawLiet's going to commit to level 2 here, and getting the mana burn online, of course, is absolutely crucial. But LabyRinth actually goes for Aura first. Definitely an interesting pick. I suppose Coil, you know, it's not terribly needed against the first camp, and Aura just helps speed your army up to get to the next camp. That level 1 Coil not saving that much time, but Aura really helping to move your army along camp to camp.
Yeah, absolutely. And he saw it's a Demon Hunter, right? So I think it was quite safe even with an Aura. And now we get this little skirmish, and let's see if LawLiet takes once more as much damage as he did on map 1 in the first little engagement.
So sometimes in Elf vs Undead, we see both heroes creeping to level 3, but on the first map in Shallow Grave, we saw a lot of aggression. Both players were barely over level 2 by the time they started their second heroes, which was really interesting. And I wonder who is going to come out on top experience-wise this game. LabyRinth, of course, trying to commit to more creeping, and LawLiet trying to be as annoying as possible.
And he used a Wisp, but now there's no surround. He used the Wisp, but he also detonated his own mana. I mean, he also detonated the DK, but that and one skeleton, so not the perfect Wisp for him. But now he's dealing good damage because the DK is out of mana, and he might lose the first ghoul here, and the second one even.
Wait, hold on a second here. This is a lot of ghouls going down. 3 ghouls going down here. 3
ghouls go down, 1 archer in return because there was Dust, and he's just creeping in between. Why not?
Getting every single bit of experience that he can as LawLiet right now. But yeah, Labby kind of overcommitting pretty hard. They're losing 3 ghouls right off the bat. LawLiet getting a good chunk of experience.
Yeah, you're super happy about 3 ghoul kills, like in a, let's say against an undead where you expect this 9-minute push, like every ghoul makes such a huge difference. And but even here, I mean, it slows down the creeping for the undead. Even if you can't keep up the pressure, it slows down the undead across the game.
It has to be said, LabyRinth keeping on top of his macro, though we see a lot of ghouls still available to him, both to gather that lumber and to continue creeping. This should be level 3 for him after the Tuskar camp. And LawLiet, he's moving his Ancient of War across, keeping that prepared for his second hero most likely. Boots and staff as well for him as well. Pretty expensive commitment.
That's a huge investment.
Oh, Labby trying to get the last hit with the coil there. LawLiet, LawLiet doesn't quite
another
manage to get it.
going down. Yeah.
Another ghoul does go down. LabyRinth paying the price for his level 3, but LawLiet, he is falling behind a bit in experience right now, but LabyRinth with 0 mana, it has to be said.
Yeah, is he starting perhaps the expansion once again, just with the archers and the Ancient of War? I mean, he could always staff there if he needed to and keep up the pressure with the Demon Hunter, which is full HP, so this is great because it lets him like prevent an expo, I guess, and it looks like he wants to creep with the Naga, okay?
Yeah, something I've noticed in the series is that LawLiet doesn't favor a lot of archers. We have only 2 archers, of course, 1 did go down, but it means that he only built 3 across the course of this game, which I think is kind of greedy. It might open you up to some vulnerabilities and of course doesn't help you creep very quickly in particular.
And that could be a huge creep check. I mean, the DK is taking a lot of damage before the Naga is arriving for LabyRinth, and he's finishing the camp getting closer to level 3, and I'm not sure but LabyRinth found the big key, but you don't want to use that.
There's a lot of ghouls though, Kevin.
Yeah, that's true. And 1 archer is going down, and this is...
Yeah, LawLiet's creeping here, being thwarted a bit by LabyRinth, coming in with the Naga and the ghouls at the perfect time. Ancient of War going down too, we know how crucial that is for Night Elf players.
It came by so much time, and he could have moved it to another creep camp, but yeah, I think what you mentioned regarding the archers, I mean, we had 3 archers, but he also invested so much into both of these items. Like sometimes you skip, let's say, maybe the stuff a little bit, like in the last game, and then you get more archers, but I think, yeah, he just wanted to found like a sweet middle ground, and so far I think, a pretty even game again, right?
Yeah, it feels like this is working out okay for LawLiet. Of course, losing the Ancient of War there is not ideal. LabyRinth doing some nice creeping right now, just pulling out what is quite an annoying camp to do indeed. The No Overseer being quite slippery here, actually. LabyRinth closing that in right now. Wonder what this could be an important item right here. It is actually the Lion Horn of Stormwind.
That's a great item for sure, and he might even rush the other level 6, so that's huge. I think LawLiet didn't see him because there was no ultra vision, and
that's so unfortunate.
He just passed him and he gets both items in the middle.
Oh man, it's Mana Stone. Mana Stone for Undead is a huge item, and actually LabyRinth bought the Claws as well from the marketplace. Definitely wanting to pimp up that Lich later on. LawLiet committing quite hard here with the Demon Hunter's HP, taking a ton of damage himself, getting another Ghoul kill, which is really nice. We see LabyRinth not with the most amount of supply in the world.
Losing an Archer again in return, so they don't gift anything.
Yeah, look at this supply for LawLiet. He has 2 Dryads at the moment. We do have another 2 on the way as well. Tier 3 is incoming as well, so Bears will be online fairly soon.
And he goes with 4 Dryads, maybe to compensate a little bit the fact that he lost his backline, just to be able to creep more efficiently now. Because running around with a dead Bears like for too long doesn't feel good.
Absolutely. Yeah, you kind of want to have the Master done as quick as possible with a couple Bears out on the field. Get some Roar, get a Rejuvenation, usually on the DH, who tanks most camps, and then morph them into Bears and just clear all the camps out super quick.
And this is the most standard game so far, right? Because on map 1 we had the Scar threatening the Expo, and he went with the Expo right before tier 3. Now we have tier 3, and none of that happened. On map 2 it was obviously different. He expanded in the middle of springtime, but now he's playing the most standard game so far. And let's see if that's gonna go bite him. Because LawLiet must be very experienced against these pushes. He got a little bit better Moonwell Soul. And the Master is ready, so the push is gonna take a while.
Yeah, LabyRinth also taking his sweet time here. We see upgrades in production for him, both the Ghoul Frenzy and Destroyer form, taking a little bit of time to come online. Lich is out now as well, buying the Orb and a Skull. It looks like a tier 3 expansion, Kevin.
Yeah, there are 2 ways to play this. Like, either you go for this push to try to finish the game, or you go for this, like instead of a push, you use your momentum to protect an expansion, and you can still morph the Destroyers, which is great. And yeah, that's exactly what he is doing. And LawLiet needs to scout this, and like we would expect him to just counter Expo once again, like he did on map 1 and on map 2.
Yeah, the Demon Hunter here with Ring of Protection +5 and Greater Healing. I don't know about you, Kevin, but Greater Healing is one of my favorite items. And also for the Undead players out there, one of their favorite items, the Mana Bomb.
Yeah, those are 2 and now 3 amazing auras for the Undead. The big heal is great, but he's still lacking the Orb. LawLiet it is. He's still lacking the Staff. He got the hero level, so that's nice. But he needs the Staff for sure to get a good engagement.
Yeah, LabyRinth, you're getting good levels though, it has to be said. You know, LawLiet has 3 and 3 as well, soon to be level 4 Demon Hunter, but LabyRinth has the try-hero advantage here with so many good items. I mean, triple aura. This is going to be so difficult for LawLiet to get over, especially the bigger the armies get, the more effective all those auras will be.
We get level 4 Demon Hunter after this, what in another permanent item which can be really good, but the Invu is still available in the shop, and I think LabyRinth is gonna get it right. Oh no, didn't go with it, he goes for the creep check.
Oh, LawLiet losing a Bear that was in Adept form, of course not able to morph that, no mana left, and it feels like LawLiet is committing to a fight that he can't win right now potentially.
I think he needs to get out, because without the Staff and without the Orb, this is just not efficient.
Yeah, we see LawLiet losing quite a lot of units right now. Dryad's going down, the Bear went down as well. No, the Demon Hunter goes down, he had the big healing potion and LawLiet didn't pull it.
And the Fiend survived as well, so this was super huge for LabyRinth, and he is far ahead right now on the Expos, coming up behind all of this.
This is so rough for LawLiet right now. This is the worst of both worlds. Not only did you lose an engagement that you probably shouldn't have taken, but your opponent is also expanding behind this. It feels like a double advantage for the Undead here, not only taking a fight and winning it, but also establishing a second base. This is looking super, super tough for LawLiet right now.
The Expo was started before the fight, which makes it even worse. Like sometimes you win a fight and then you think, okay, now I'm ahead, and I do it. But he tweeted it out and did it before the fight even, and then this fight just happened.
Here we go, the Demon Hunter of LawLiet, of course, knowing what's up and trying to harass the Acolytes here. The Nerubian Tower was actually skipped for a little bit, maybe a wee bit greedy.
We'll likely only get one though, I think. One Acolyte.
A little bit of immolation being used, the last mana points on this Demon Hunter being committed for the harass, but of course Acolytes are pretty quick and regen up nicely on that Blight, as we know all too well.
Now, like, just the mana or the Paladin over, it's so huge. Like, the longer you don't fight right now, makes it hard. And like doing what he did on the first 2 maps, like burning this mana consistently, becomes practically impossible at this point, I guess, against the statue and this brilliant Sorbonne.
Absolutely. Like LabyRinth here with some shock control, of course, getting the Invo potion, making sure that he doesn't throw this game. We still have the big healing potion for him as well. LawLiet, you know, he did lose his Demon Hunter, but he does still have the big healing potion for one more crucial engagement, but it feels like he needs to take it really soon.
And he can try to bank a little bit on 50, but there were still some creeps to take, so LabyRinth cleans the map. And he's just gonna get stronger, right? He's gonna get good units, more upgrades, and he's having shock control, and finally we get the AWP and the staff, but it's still 50 supply, and with the next round of production, LabyRinth is gonna be far ahead.
And the trouble is too is, of course, when you have all those statues on the ground, you can chain morph those into destroyers with mana, and they are incredibly deadly against bears. We've got 3 bears on the field for LawLiet. I'm not sure they're going to last too long. They're actually still chilling in Druid form right now, which is a little bit risky. We saw LawLiet losing one very quickly earlier on. A lot of nuke on the Demon Hunter right now. Once again, trying to burn away the undead mana, but combined with Mana Stone, Khadgar's Pipe, and the statue regeneration, the mana regen on the undead side is ludicrous.
This is super tough to deal with, and Dizigord finished just in time before the fight, and he has the resources to just keep morphing on destroyers if he needs to, but these mana burns are getting expensive against these undead heroes, right? So, like Moon Juice, like it's nighttime, right? We have Wellspring, which is nice, but eventually they're gonna go try, and then it's daytime. And then you're out of Moon Juice, and what do you do then? Then you can't keep doing that, and the undead will just regen the mana again.
Yeah, it feels like at this stage in the game, you need to commit to big fights when you have Moon Juice back at home. If you do staff your Demon Hunter and you can't bring him back in full HP, it feels like you have absolutely no momentum left in that fight. The Demon Hunter can only stand at the back and watch as the rest of his friends go down against the Scourge.
And this looks like the all-in. He knows there's over level 2 online for the undead, and he goes to the expansion without a TP. So this is a clear commitment by LawLiet. And he's even blocking a Triad, which is not the easiest thing in Warcraft 3 for sure, but that shows you how serious he is.
Yeah, both players here trying their absolute hardest to stay in this competition. It is 1-1 after all. The stakes are insanely high. LabyRinth feels prepared though. He's got another heal scroll to his name. So many good DPS items on the Naga and Lich. They are absolute machine guns right now. LawLiet not too shabby himself, but just not the biggest army in the world. We see nukes being committed right away, Demon Hunter getting pretty low, and lots of destroyers are in the air. We have 3 destroyers right now taking out those bears.
And he's just focusing the DH. But the DK is in trouble. He doesn't have anything, right? He's now getting the info pass from Village.
Oh, but Naga might be next on the menu. Focus the Demon Hunter, then focus the Naga is a pretty strong play indeed. LawLiet also going for a lot of hero focus himself. I think he thinks this is the only way to close out this game, potentially and claw back the win. Lich in some danger as well. Another heal scroll being committed. Demon Hunter is full HP. Wait, we have Fork Lightning on the menu as well. Wait, the DK is in some trouble. The DK is in some trouble potentially. Now it's the Naga!
He's just surrounded, huh?
The Naga's completely surrounded and she goes down as well. LawLiet losing a lot of units though.
In trouble as well, but is the DK coming from the top for
the Lich as well! No way! LawLiet bringing this game back for himself right now. Wait a second, the coil potentially could snipe the Naga from
he
behind.
Switched the staff.
Wait a second, staff out? No, he doesn't staff the Naga, no way!
Oh. He prepared for it, but then...
He prepared and then the execution just wasn't there when it mattered the most. This was LawLiet's chance to bring this game back in for himself, and now the Naga is dead, and it feels like all momentum is out the window. Even though LabyRinth just lost both heroes, we see the supply is looking commanding right now for him.
He absolutely did what he could there. He killed 2 heroes out of nowhere practically, basically, but yeah, now it's a 30 supply gap. And he goes for the Tavern revive, and there's still like 1 hero is in production, 1 was bought, and there's still 300 gold for LabyRinth, and he can get the Invo potion once more.
Yeah, Laby still with plenty of gold in the side, definitely going to get another Invo and heal scroll combination, I imagine. There we go. And LawLiet, what else can he do? He's trying to produce some more units. We have only 5 Triads available to his name. There's 5 Fiends as well, 3 Destro and 3 Statues. This undead army could get huge really quick.
With these Triads, I mean, they're even like, it's not just a couple of Triads, they're even like half dead. So I'm not even sure if he could seriously threaten this expansion at this point, right? He could probably kill the Acolytes, but he would take forever to kill the buildings.
LawLiet committing in once again with Demon Hunters getting low already despite there not being any lich. We see the coil and the Naga stacking out just in time. This is so close for LawLiet, but I think he knows that he needs to keep fighting here. Fighting his heart out right now. Demon Hunter's coming back in, but he's only half HP. Wait, there's still more mana. Oh, nice mana burn just in time.
Fighting like a lion.
Oh, the DK I thought might be in some trouble for a second. We see
Naga.
the Naga committing and she takes out LawLiet's Naga as well.
The DK is running away and there's just 3 Triads left for LawLiet.
Oh, the Lich is
There's
back
a
as
fourth
well.
one, but
Lich comes back into the fray. We see LabyRinth just buying a ton of items here, making sure, okay, this time I'm not going to lose my heroes. And I think the Demon Hunter is in some serious trouble here, of course. There is no way out for him. LawLiet is fully committed. He is fighting as hard as he can. And LawLiet unfortunately taps out, and LabyRinth manages to take this close contest 2-1.